Hello and welcome back to Carbonite Ultra U. In this episode, we're going to go over configuration options and what each one does. So let's go ahead and jump into dashboard and have a look. So when we come into dashboard and we're on our configuration menu, on our system page, and the first sub-tab, we've already discussed switcher modes, and considering the amount of information, that's why it was its own video. Now, field dominance is only applicable in interlaced formats, and this defines when the switch is to occur. So with field dominance set to field 1, whenever a switch is taking place, it will always happen on field 1 of a frame. So even if field 2 is coming up next, it will wait for field 1. Now, this was needed before for legacy equipment that used to require edits take place at certain points. Ancillary data mode. You have the ability to either strip the ancillary data or pass the ancillary data. Inside of the ancillary data, there's all kinds of information, including in the horizontal blanking is where the audio is kept. So you can strip everything out of the system. It's also where closed captioning and other data is maintained. The number of Rave audio breakout modules or audio breakout units, however you'd like to refer to them, this configures the system for how many of these will be included. And when we look at the diagram, we can see that it's important because depending on how many you have, it requires that the ABUs or ABMs be wired to specific inputs and outputs. What this does is it sets up for embedding and disembedding the data going in and out, but also the control path. So we just want to be aware of this and how these line up. Configurable audio channels refers to the total number of faders that you want in the system. With the Graphite series, instead of being forced to always have 48 faders, there had been a request. Now what you can do is define the total number of faders that you need for that production, and the system will reconfigure itself accordingly. That way you don't have a whole bunch of faders that you're not using. Note that 48 faders is the maximum number that you can have. And then in a separate video, we'll see how we assign which audio goes to which fader. Also, if you want to colorize your front panel of your Ultra, this is where you can come in and you can pick the color that you want it to be. Now, there are reserved colors as well as message colors, which is also covered in the quick start guide, which you can see here as to the coloring and what those colors represent at different times in the boot up cycle, the upgrade cycle, or alarm cycles as well. Coming back in, when we move to the ME configuration tab, you have a configuration for each ME and where its clean feed is to take place, either before key 1, before key 2, before key 3, or before key 4. Also, with layer mode, and this is where a ME goes into a pre-composition mode. And now, instead of a clean feed being a clean feed, it becomes a combined alpha channel. And now I can key an ME as a composited item inside of another keyer in the system. You have your ability to save sets, load sets, completely factory reset the switcher, perform upgrades, define your licenses. So when I buy my system, there are total number of MEs, the IO processing, the extra multi-viewers, and the audio mixer licenses. And then finally, on your system configuration, this is also where we can come in and we can pick our custom live assist UIs. So these are the UIs that will automatically pull from external devices. And then separately in the inputs tab is where you can link sources to these menu pages. Thank you for watching this video on the configuration options. As always, if you have any requests, suggestions, comments, please send them to switchers@rossvideo. and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for watching and have a great day.